Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Myra from Low Carb Love. Now, most of you know I've lost over 100 pounds, 135 pounds to be exact. I've also been maintaining my weight for over 15 years. So I get asked a lot of questions about weight loss. And if I had to lose 20 pounds in the next 3 months, what would I do? Okay, so that's what this video is about. I'm gonna talk to you about it. I'm gonna kind of walk you through exactly what I would do. Now, is it possible to lose 20 pounds in 3 months? Yes. Here's the thing. One, it's gonna be dedication, consistency. You're gonna have to stick to it. Now, no cheating. Like, you cannot start something like this and already be thinking like, oh, I can have one cheat meal a week. We're not doing cheat meals. We're not doing anything. We are going to stay on track and we are going to stay focused, okay? Now, what are you gonna eat? Okay, Myra, just get into it. Like, what do I have to eat? All right, well, I'm gonna tell you very easily. First of all, I have a meal plan that if you want to follow it step by step, it's what I use, my daughter used. She's lost over 50 pounds. I've obviously lost a ton of weight. Thousands of people have lost a ton of weight. So if you want something that's going to walk you step by step, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, drinks, all of that, my meal plan will be linked in the description below for you, okay? But I'm gonna give you a broad idea of what I would do if I had to lose 20 pounds in the next 3 months, okay? Now, starting off, you're gonna have to go low carb. Like, it's just gonna happen. This is, again, now I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist. This is from personal experience, and I have done it and I have kept it off, okay? So I have lost the weight. Not only did I lose the weight, I've kept it off all of these years. I got my blood work done. My blood work is perfect. Yeah, I feel amazing. I feel, you know what I mean? Like, I feel great. I have energy. Like, right now it is 9:30 p.m. and I feel great. Like, I have been working all day long. I wanted to do this video because sometimes when I get like video ideas, I'm just like, boom, like I have to do it right now. So, so anyway, here we go. Ground beef, okay? We have eggs, we have veggies. So think low carb veggies, non-starchy vegetables. Let's just go back to the meats. Let's go back to proteins because I feel like proteins are very, very important, okay? So ground beef is gonna be your best friend. If you could stick to ground beef, eggs, avocado, and maybe some like non-starchy veggies for the next 3 months, I am almost positive that you would lose more than the 20 pounds. You've heard of the ground beef bowls, steak, ribeye steak, New York steak, any type of steak actually, filet, eggs, any way you wanna eat them, in an omelet, scrambled, over easy, fried, poached, okay? So all the eggs. And I'm not talking about eating and being hungry. You're gonna eat until you are full and satiated. Now, the first few days when you first get started, like let's just say that you are just getting started now, you might eat a little extra because you're trying to compensate, like you're trying to compensate your protein and fats for the carbs because you know you're not gonna have the carbs as much, or you're not gonna have like the carbs that you're used to in terms of bread, pasta, rice. You are gonna have carbs because veggies are carbs, fruits are carbs. Yeah, one, it's gonna be in moderation, and two, you're not gonna have those carbs that usually make you feel like a certain type of, it just gives like a certain type of feeling in the body, I feel, because trust me, I've been there. Okay, so those are gonna be your best friends, okay? And mind you, if, again, I have all of this in my meal plan if you really want like a step-by-step, but I also just wanna give you a broad overall idea. Let's talk about like lunches, okay? So if you are like, Myra, I need to eat 3 meals a day. Like, I just absolutely have to, okay? So, like, here's the thing. You want to stick to protein. You also want to focus on ingredients, okay? So ingredients are really, really important. Now, am I someone who's going to tell you, oh, it has to be grass-fed, it has to be organic, it has to be pasture-raised? No, absolutely not. You do not have to do all of that. Right now, if you are just getting started, focus on getting the weight off. That should be your only priority. Now, if you are someone who, you know, no problem, like it fits within your means, you're like, I can, you know, like budget is no problem, then absolutely go ahead. Go shop at Whole Foods, go buy the best meats, the best, you know, cheeses, the best everything, right? If you are someone who is like, ooh, I'm kind of scared, I think I'm gonna spend more money, I'm gonna, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I could do this, I don't know if I could afford this, then I would say buy what is within your means. Buy what's in your budget, okay? Now, trust me, when you stop eating cereal, you stop eating chips, you stop eating like all the processed snacks and junk, when you stop buying that, you are gonna have enough money, trust me, okay? Because I know what my shopping carts used to look like. I know what I used to spend versus what I started spending once I switched over to, back then it was keto, and I actually saved money. Okay, so I don't want to hear it because some people are like, oh, like must be nice that you can afford that. Stop. You can, trust me, you can get the big logs of ground beef. You can get an 18 pack of eggs. You can, avocado. If avocado is not within your means, stick to the eggs and ground beef. Stick to the ground beef alone. Trust me, it will work, okay? Then what else? Intermittent fast is great because when you're not eating and your insulin and glucose is that low, you're gonna burn your own body fat, okay? Now, and with the ground beef, you can make burgers, you can make beef bowls, you can make meatballs. There are so many different recipes that you can make from just ground beef. You can also use ground chicken, ground turkey, salmon. All of those meats are a go, but I'm gonna tell you, I don't know what it is about ground beef, but I feel like it works so well. Like it just works, okay? So anyway, you asked the question, if I had to lose 20 pounds in 3 months, what would I do? I'm telling you exactly what I would do. Now, make sure you are looking out for the ingredients. Make sure that you are not cooking. The one thing I am gonna say is try not to cook with any seed oils. No canola, no soybean. What else is it? Grapeseed, sunflower, like all of those oils, definitely they are processed at such high temperatures that they create free radicals. It's a whole thing. It starts disrupting your gut. Our gut is super, super important when you are on a weight loss journey. Like your gut, if your gut is not, I just have to say it, if you have not been taking care of your gut, you want to focus on that. You can do it at the same time though. You can do it at the same time. But your gut health is, remember, 70% of our immune system, 70% of our entire immune system lives in our gut. Okay. They call it your second brain for a reason. So make sure that you are looking at ingredients. It can be whole foods. They don't have to be organic. They don't have to be anything fancy. As long as they are whole foods, okay? Now, if you're thinking supplements, one thing that I did, aside from cutting out seed oils, cutting out refined sugars, at one point I went gluten-free and dairy-free. When I did all of that, and I incorporated a high quality probiotic and prebiotic, that made the world of a difference. It was that whole combination that just like, it changed it all. At one point, my hair was falling out. I would get super bloated after I ate. Like, I didn't even know why. I felt like anything I eat, like my stomach just bloats up. I had like my skin, I had like patches on my skin that were just like itchy on my back. Like it was so weird. But all of that was because my gut was out of whack. So if you don't have a high quality probiotic and prebiotic, the one that I take it's called Seed. It's Seed DS01. It's a symbiotic. So it's both a prebiotic and a probiotic. So there's like a capsule within a capsule. It makes it down into your colon, the whole thing. You can even use my discount code. It's LCL25. That gets you 25% off on your order. So I'll leave that linked in the description below. But a combination of good food with a high quality probiotic and prebiotic is going to make the difference, okay? So that's something that I highly recommend. But lunches, okay? So lunches, if you're someone that needs to eat breakfast, you need to eat lunch, and you need to eat dinner, you can do that. You can definitely do that. You're just going to, again, you're not gonna eat to be like stuffed. You're gonna eat to be satiated, where you're like, okay. And just remember, okay? Because trust me, I've been there. When you first get started, you might eat a little more. It's gonna be okay. What you wanna do is just get used to not eating the foods that you've been used to eating. So don't worry about eating a little extra the first few days. It's gonna be just fine. Your body will kind of, what's it called? Where your body just kind of balances itself out. But like when I first switched over and I stopped eating cereal, I stopped eating like all the carbs, I remember I wanted to eat so much more like bacon and eggs and like fatty stuff. But it was just my body kind of like overcompensating for not having the carbs. And like, I guess I was just wanting to feel a certain like feeling like in my stomach. And so I was just eating a lot more, but it only happened for about 3 days or so. Then after that, I was just like, I was over it. I didn't, at first when you start eating bacon, you're like, oh my God, I can have bacon. Like I wanted it all. And then after I was just kind of like, okay, I know I can have it. Like I'm just going to eat what feels right. And then I went from like eating like 8 pieces of bacon to like 3 pieces of bacon, 2 to 3 eggs, some avocado, queso fresco. Like it just depends on like my mood for the day. I'd have chicken sausage or like regular sausages or whatever. And so anyway, but just so you know, the first few days, you might be a little bit like, ups and down with like eating a little bit more protein, a little bit more fats, whatever, and that's okay. Trust me, your body will know what to do with it once you get used to this being like a routine and just being something that you're actually sticking to. I love chicken salad. I love egg salad and tuna salad. I love making sardines. I know it sounds crazy, but trust me, I love sardines. And I like it in olive oil because in water, I feel like they're too dry. But I love it in olive oil, drench it with a bunch of lemon. It is so delicious, such a healthy snack, so full of protein. Sardines are amazing for your skin. But the other salads, I love mixing them with a little mayo. But if like lately I've been actually doing Greek yogurt. So I do like Greek yogurt, sriracha, a tiny bit of mayo just to give it like a different creaminess. And then onion, tomato, cilantro, celery, or depending on what the vibe is for the salad, I toss in a bunch of things and they're so delicious. I make cucumber boats, lettuce boats. Sometimes I fill up a whole ¿cómo se dice? Bell pepper and like just bite into it. I don't know, it's so satisfying. I love that. So that's a delicious lunch. But you know what? What I'm doing is throwing out a bunch of things out there for you to kind of like pick and choose. Again, I have all of this sorted out on my meal plan, but these are all ideas. You can have that for breakfast. You can have pancakes for lunch. You can have, breakfast for dinner, whatever you want. I'm just giving you the ideas and like what I would eat if I were actually trying to lose 20 pounds in 3 months. And I know that I would do it. It's just like, I know that I haven't been as disciplined as I need to be because sometimes I'll go and I'll be out and about and I'll crave something and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna get a little Starbucks or, and hey, that's not part of the plan, girlfriend. That is not part of the plan, okay? So you have to be prepared. If you know that you're going out, make your own coffee at home. Use a creamer that you know is not loaded with sugar, because if you're going out, you know that you're going to get the sugars. You know that you're going to get ingredients that you don't typically use. They're going to use milk that is not unsweetened, So unless you're doing like a heavy cream or like a half and half into your cold brew with a sugar-free vanilla, something like very plain Jane, very simple, then I would not go for a brown sugar oat milk shaken espresso. You're not going to go for that pistachio latte, okay? I know you're probably like, but it's the truth. I really want you to see that you can make it happen, but you have to sacrifice some of these things. And hey, it's a short-term sacrifice for a long-term benefit. Okay. So just always remember that. And then if you're a snacker, if you're someone that you're like, oh my gosh, Myra, I'm always craving snacks. Like, why do I snack so much? It's okay. Just know that you're going to have about 5 things you can snack on. You're going to snack on either plain chicken breast. You're going to snack on some beef jerky. You can snack on some, let's just say, hard-boiled eggs, plain meat. Like if you just, you know what I mean? Like these are very, very, these are snacks that you're like, if you're not craving what I just said right now, if you're not craving an egg, then you're not hungry. You're just quieres comer, like you just want something. So in that case, drink water. You can make yourself a little sparkling drink. Something I used to do back in the day that really helped me a lot was sparkling water, a little tapita of apple cider vinegar, like a little splash, a pinch of salt, and then just like a tiny bit of stevia with lemon. It literally tasted like a lemonade, like so refreshing. And I don't know, I think it was the apple cider vinegar. It would cut my cravings. Like whatever I was craving at the moment, it would just cut it. So I love that. Even if you have like electrolytes, certain electrolytes taste so yummy. They taste like, you know, like something you get at Starbucks. So that's good because that's 0 sugar, 0 calories, 0 carbs. You just want to make sure that you're not having things that are spiking your, you know what I mean? Real sugar is going to spike your insulin and your glucose. So you don't want to do that. These are just, I'm literally just thinking out loud as I'm talking to you. So those are all like lunches. And then of course you have your dinners. I would go in with steak, salmon. Salmon is so good. Salmon is very fatty, so it keeps you very full. Like that is something that even if you have it for lunch, and remember, if you're not hungry for dinner, you don't have to have dinner. Or if you have a good breakfast and you're not hungry for lunch, you don't have to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You know what I mean? You can have just breakfast for the whole day if you feel good with that, or you can have a breakfast and a dinner, or a breakfast or a lunch and a dinner, no breakfast, or just dinner, whatever the case is. But listen to your body, and you know, you will know what to do. If you're hungry, then eat, but make sure you're actually hungry. Make sure you think of the egg, the beef, the hard-boiled egg, the plain chicken breast. Like if you're not craving plain chicken breast, then you are not hungry. So that's what I have to say about that. But dinners are super easy. Once you start thinking like, okay, you can do like steak dinner with mushrooms and a side salad, or steak dinner with mushrooms, or like, let's just say steak dinner with asparagus and a cauli mash. So that's like a cauliflower made into mashed potato, but you know, like a faux-tato. You can make a chicken crust pizza. You can make, oh my gosh, there's like so many things that you can make for dinner. But I'm just gonna be brutally honest, and I'm gonna tell you what I know works 100%. And these are all great ideas. And I promise you that you can eat them as long as you're not having chips and cookies. I don't care if they're low carb, none of that. No ice cream, no cookies, no chips, no none of that. If you must have something sweet, have a few strawberries, maybe a dark chocolate that is like very low sugar. But you know, something that might be sweetened with like allulose, or something that is like a high quality dark chocolate, something like that would be fine. You can make some type of pudding, you can make a yogurt. So kind of think like of a yogurt parfait. One of the things that I love to do is the vanilla yogurt. It's like the little Oikos brand. I do that with a little bit of peanut butter. And then I throw like some crushed almonds or granola on top. I absolutely love that. That's like a really great treat. It has 15 to 20 grams of protein, 90 calories. So I feel like that's a really good treat to have as dessert. But in terms of dinners, I want to make sure that you know, ground beef is your best friend. Remember this always. Ground beef is like a great dinner option. You can even do ground beef. Cottage cheese is amazing. Cottage cheese, you can mix it into your eggs. You can serve it on the side. Cottage cheese just makes your eggs creamy. You can even eat like a queso. Let's just say you were craving like chips and queso, or something with like a dip. You can definitely make it with cottage cheese. Cottage cheese has become such a staple in like a lot of the recipes that I make. And I used to hate cottage cheese, but once you blend it and you know that it takes on whichever flavor that you put into it, it is so helpful, okay? So that is just a great option for you to put into anything. You can blend it into your smoothies. You can, like, it literally is like milk, right? Because it's made from milk, obviously. It just has a different texture, but once you blend it, you can do so many things with it. People make pancakes. Like I said, queso. You can make, what else? Dressings. I made high protein dressings with it. So many options. Desserts. I've made so many desserts with it as well. So it's one of those things that it's like so versatile. You just have to know like which combinations go together, and then that adds the creaminess, which is yummy. What else? I'm trying to think. Yeah, so dinners are the easiest. I feel like breakfast, dinners, lunches are very quick for me, but this is, again, like you can always mix and match. Just grab what I say, and then you can always say, hey, I want to have this for breakfast today. Okay, well then have it. You know, you're going to figure out what works for you. You're going to see what works the best for you. But yes, it's possible. Don't cheat. Stick to it. When you don't feel motivated and you're just like, I don't want to eat this, think of your goal. Think of your why. You know, and always be nice to yourself. Do not look at yourself in the mirror and say like, oh, you're this, or oh, you look like this. Never. Remember, the tongue is so powerful, and our words are energy. Okay. And what you put out is what Basically, like, how can I explain this without sounding crazy? But when you put out positivity, your world becomes positive. When you put out negativity, everything around you becomes negative because that's what you're attracting. And I'm really, really big on energy. I'm really big on words. You always want to make sure that you are nice to yourself. You want to make sure that you're nice to the people around you. And it's not just about what you say, it's also what you think. And if you always think negatively, then you might want to just look into that and see why. Like, maybe you need to read a book. You know what I mean? Just think like, why. Sometimes we have to reprogram our mind. Like, I had to reprogram my mind from when I was just from like a kid, because I grew up, thinking very differently. And now I can't even think of thinking negatively. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, absolutely not. Like, oh my God, why is that person talking like that to themselves? Or why are they saying this? Or I always wonder, I'm like, oh my God, they don't understand what they're doing. You know what I mean? So you want to make sure in a weight loss journey, it just, across in your whole life. But right now we're talking about weight loss. So you need to know that you can do it, but you need to believe it. Believe it. Like, you are strong enough to do this. Okay. I used to weigh over 300 pounds. Trust me when I tell you that, like, the reason why it happened was because I believed that I could do it. Like, I literally saw it. Like, I was like, I know that I could do it. And anything in life, I look at it that way. If I can envision it, if I could see it, I know it can be done. You know what I mean? So I know you can do it. Okay. If you need to lose 20 pounds in the next 3 months, you can do it. I believe in you. Okay. So remember, if you like this video, of course, show me some love, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. I have so much on here that can help you on your weight loss journey. And if you have friends and family that are also on a weight loss journey, or maybe just trying to make healthier choices in their life, please share my channel. Please share my meal plan. My meal plan can be super, super helpful for them as well. But thank you for being here. Comment down below. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you on my next video. Mwah.